The whole world is going to crap. If you believe that, you just may deserve to be slapped. So despite the administration raising their limit so they could charge more on the card, the United States has still been downgraded. Now the markets are plunging, people are rioting in the streets, and a lot of folks are just getting a raw deal. So with the media so quick to react to tragedy and both sides of the political spectrum playing football with people's real life issues, it's very easy to get down. And that's why I think it's so important to remember just how blessed most of us truly are. Sure, you may have it tough, but someone else always has it tougher. My father used to tell me a story when I was a boy about people with all different kinds of problems getting together. They would write their problem on a slip of paper, put it in a hat, pass that hat around, and at the end of the day, they could all pull out any problem of their choosing, and they all pulled out the exact same problem that they had originally put in. The point is that I don't believe any of us are given more than we can handle, which is why I wanted to tell you the story of my friend Joel Scribner. An entrepreneur, a Taekwondo world champion, and a successful youth pastor. What you may not know, unless you've read his new book, Supernatural You, however, is that Joel's daughter died at 18 months of age.
And it is a very, very hard chapter to read for a lot of people. It's the story of the loss of my daughter, really how my life crashed, and I felt like I'd lost everything because my daughter died of brain cancer just in the beginning of my career in ministry, so I questioned everything. It was extremely hard. I still weep every time I read it and reread it, but in that moment, I mean, I remember my mom calling me, and we had gone to church that morning and calling me that my daughter had stopped breathing, so I drove home like a maniac and throwing my coat off and running into the back bedroom where she was and started doing CPR on her, and we did CPR for 2 hours, and it was one of the lowest parts of my life when I had to stop and had to give up, and it just went against everything that a parent would ever do. It would be to stop and give up, but I just had to let go. I had to allow her to go and be where she was supposed to be. The wild thing is I stayed in ministry. I'm still in ministry. It's what I do. I work for people. I serve people. And my job is to bring hope and help people find hope. But for me, I did regress, and I went through a lot of things, and I had to re-win battles that I'd already won in the past. But for me, finding my escape was in God, that I could have hope in Him and put my faith in Him, and He could make sense of the things that I couldn't make sense of myself. That was really the answer for me. You know, basically the premise of my book, The Supernatural You, is all about how you can learn how to tap into something that's greater than what you see right in front of you. Most people live in the natural realm, and they never understand or realize how actually real and truly real the supernatural realm is. So what I would say to those people is that they can't live their life based on just what they see, but we're called to live a life of faith. For me, it was utterly hopeless, but I've learned how to believe again. I've learned how to stand tall again. I've learned how to be confident again, and I would say that anybody can if I did.
The point I'm making is this: sure, things are tough, and for a lot of us, things are tougher than they've been in a long while. But as a country, we've faced massive world wars, depressions that we couldn't even imagine, and thousands of our innocent civilians have been killed by acts of hatred. We've seen tougher times. And just as surely, you may be looking at your portfolio or your checking account, thinking this is the end, but you have to know that there are people out there who have dealt with tragedy that you can't even begin to imagine. And right now, you can allow all of this, the media, the uncertainty, the fear, to defeat you, or you can allow this to be the defining moment in your life for the greatest success story that you will ever experience. Just as if the United States gets its act together, if we do the right thing, if we stop charging things to the credit card and paying out the country's worst, most abysmal failures, we can and will be as great or greater than we've ever been.